With that said, let's talk about one of the biggest legends that ever came out of those comic shops. Let's talk Batman. Alright, so check it out. For like 80 years, there's been one hero who just owns the night. You know who I'm talking about. He's vengeance, he's the law, he is Batman. But his story, man, it's not just one thing. It's a whole universe of stories told in a ton of different comic books. So today, we're gonna dive into all of his main comics, from way back when he started all the way to now. This is how the legend got built, one comic at a time. So our story, it actually starts in 1937. And get this, it wasn't even in a Batman comic. It was in Detective Comics. This wasn't his book at first, you know? It was just a collection of different detective stories. But then, 1939, issue number 27 hits, and this new shadow just falls over Gotham, the Batman. And he was an instant hit. Like, so popular, he didn't just star in the book, he basically became the book. This is the OG series, the one where it all began. So by 1940, Batman was just explosive. He was way too big for just one comic. It was time for him to get his own self-titled book, Batman. And they started it off with a massive bang. The very first issue gives us not one, but two of the biggest names ever. You get the Joker, this agent of pure chaos, and you get Catwoman. I mean, come on, this wasn't just some other comic. For the next 70 years, this was the main event, the series that defined who Bruce Wayne was. Then you get to the Silver Age, and DC was trying some stuff out with the brave and the bold. At first, it was just a book for like random heroes, Viking princes and whatever. But after a while, it found its groove. By the mid-60s, it was the ultimate team-up book, and almost every issue was Batman working with some other hero from the DC universe. This is where he really became known as the guy who could work with anyone, the dark detective who could fight alongside Green Arrow or even the Spectre. Wild stuff. Then in '66, that Adam West Batman show was huge, like a global thing. And that hype made it all the way to Japan. So this manga company got the rights to make their own Batman stories, and we got Batoman. This thing was a crazy mix of the kind of goofy American comics at the time and that classic manga style. For 53 weeks, people in Japan got their own version of Batman, a piece of history that, believe it or not, we wouldn't get translated over here for decades. So what happens when the Justice League is tied up with politics and all that? Simple. Batman starts his own crew. In 1983's Batman and the Outsiders, he straight up quits the League to make this, like, Black Ops super team. He gets heroes like Black Lightning, Metamorpho, and Katana to do the dirty work that Superman couldn't. This was Batman as a general, leading his own soldiers in a whole new war on crime. Alright, fast forward to '89. The whole world has Batmania because of that dark Tim Burton movie. And DC, they were smart. They jumped on it with a sick new comic, Legends of the Dark Knight. The whole idea was brilliant. Just tell standalone stories about Batman's early days, his training, his first time fighting his villains, all that. And they had different legendary artists and writers on it all the time, so every story felt like a big event. It was the perfect comic for all the new fans from the movie. So with Batman Returns hitting theaters in '92, everybody wanted more Batman. They needed a third monthly comic, and that's how we got Shadow of the Bat. This book found its own lane by getting real deep into the psychology of the villains and what was going on inside Arkham Asylum. For the first time ever, fans could get a new Batman comic every week. Insane. At the exact same time, there was another Batman taking over on TV. Batman the Animated Series was, it was everything. And the Batman Adventures was the official comic for it. It just perfectly captured that cool, timeless style and the smart stories from the show. It wasn't just a cartoon book, it was a masterclass on how to do Batman right. Honestly, it's still one of the best comics to give someone who's just getting into Batman. So as the animated show changed, the comic changed. The Batman and Robin adventures took over, switching up the name to focus on the dynamic duo. It had the new character designs and showed Bruce's partnership with a slightly older Dick Grayson. It was just more of that animated goodness for all the fans who couldn't get enough. Think about it. You got 4 Batman books a month. What do you do when a month has 5 Wednesdays? Simple. You make a 5th book. That was the Batman Chronicles. It was this extra-long quarterly comic made to fill the gaps, street-level stuff, character deep dives, things that didn't really fit in the main books. After the massive No Man's Land story that just wrecked Gotham, the comic started to focus on rebuilding the city. Batman Gotham Knights became the go-to book for the Bat family. It wasn't all about Bruce. It was about the messy relationships between him, Nightwing, Robin, Batgirl, all of them. Later on, the book did this really smart thing and switched its focus to the villains, giving us a better look at what makes them tick. Okay, jump to 2011. DC decides to just reboot everything. They call it the New 52, and that meant we got a brand new Batman #1. And this run, man, you had Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo on this thing, and it was just an instant classic. They gave us the Court of Owls, this creepy, secret society that's been running Gotham forever, and they even redid his whole origin story. Seriously, this was a blockbuster run that totally set the stage for the Batman we have today. So by 2021, the Batman world was bigger than ever. So to show that, DC dropped Batman Urban Legends. This wasn't just a Batman comic, it was a Gotham City comic. Each issue was a collection of stories. Usually it'd lead with a gritty Batman team-up, but the real magic was in the backup stories. That's where guys like Red Hood, The Outsiders, or Tim Drake got the spotlight. You got to see the darker street-level parts of the city. It was a really cool, modern take on the whole anthology idea, and it proved that everyone in Gotham has a story.
So, as we're getting into the modern stuff, 2023 rolls around, and they bring back a classic idea with Batman the Brave and the Bold. This was basically an anthology book, a collection of stories. Mostly it was Batman teaming up with a ton of different heroes from all over the DC universe, which is always cool to see. And for all the fans of the dynamic duo, we got a new Batman and Robin book. This one's all about Bruce and Damian, that whole father-son crime-fighting thing, which is always a wild ride. Then we hit 2024, and Scott Snyder comes back with this runaway hit called Absolute Batman, and this book is just different. It's a darker world, and Bruce has been stripped of all his money, all his resources. He's pushed to these insane new extremes. This Bruce Wayne is just a total brick, a beast. And that brings us right up to today, 2025. We have our fourth comic, just called Batman. So, what's in store for this one? I mean, who knows for sure. But the new creative team has already given us a brand new Batsuit, the return of Alfred, which nobody's quite sure how that happened yet, and Tim Drake is back operating as his partner. You really just got to pick up the latest issue to see where this brand new chapter is headed.
Alright, so that's the breakdown. Hope you guys enjoyed the deep dive. But I definitely want to hear from you. Drop it in the comments below. For real, I read everything. If you want to be part of this little community we're building here and talk comics and movies all the time, make sure you're subscribed. And definitely ding that notification bell, because YouTube's algorithm is a mess and you probably will never see my stuff otherwise. Alright, that's it from me. I'll see you in the next video.